No, I was going to, but I'm just acknowledging like how good the music is. It's playing like
Oh, okay,
before
okay.
it
I
starts
see what
over.
you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Welcome to everyone hanging out with us on this gigantic ball spinning around the globe. Um, you guys didn't ask for it, and we're bringing it to you anyway. Episode 1 from the Abstract Studio. Who the blank are these guys? And the cool thing about Abstract, right, is you can fill in the blank, whatever word you want to put there. It could be who the heck are these guys? It could be something else, but that's up to our loving fans. So I'd like to introduce the young man here next to me that needs no formal introduction. My son Mikito, for our Espanol speaking viewers, our lead collaborator, Mr. Aiden Arthur.
Hello, thank you for having me on this lovely podcast.
I was hoping you would say that.
Oh, of course, yes.
And obviously, I'm your host and owner and designer here at Abstract.vip, Mr. John Arthur. We want to kick off some of our future weekly podcasts today with a little kind of get to know who we are and what we're going to be doing going forward as far as what Abstract is coming to be and so forth. So. Giving some of our views and makeups of what we do in our personal lives and things of that nature. So I'm going to kind of turn over to Aiden and just let him give a little bit of talk about himself and tell us what makes you tick, Mr. Aiden Arthur.
So right now I'm enrolled in Tays Valley Christian High School. I'll be a senior, class of 2025. Sports-wise, baseball. Looking for a future in music production. That's like a for sure thing. We've been looking at some schools and we're seeing the best option probably being Northwest Florida State. So we're looking to go there next year at around the same time. For me in Abstract, I'm classified as more of a collaborator. Really, it's just if we see an opportunity where I can wear merchandise and take pictures. Let's say, we go out of state on a trip and we want to take a few pictures with the merchandise for promotion purposes, then that's kind of what I do. John here, my loving, caring father, he does everything else. He designs the clothes, promotes them, sells them. With me, just more of a collaborator, also giving ideas on future designs with our up and coming clothing brand. I also, I skateboard a little bit. It's kind of a hobby. I just got back from
skateboarding today, didn't you?
Yeah, I skateboarded today.
A shout out to the to the Hurricane Skate Park here in Hurricane, West Virginia. Aiden and I were recently out of town. We were in North Myrtle Beach, and online the skate park there looked amazing. You got there and it was nice, but it reiterated how nice like that our skate park actually is here in Hurricane, West Virginia. Props to the mayor, props to our area. And as you've gotten into skateboarding more, we've kind of sought them out when we're traveling, and every one we found, we're like, it's not nearly as nice as the one that we have in our own hometown.
Oh, not even close. And whether, the skate park here in Hurricane is newer or older, the structure it was built, the way it was built, the material that it was used, and just the whole view of the skate park is so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, even if the skate park that we were at in North Myrtle, even if that was a nice skate park, the way that they built it was just so iffy compared to Hurricane.
Yeah. I feel like a lot more injuries. We always joke, maybe Mayor Edwards can, maybe he watches our podcast here one day. Is a huge fan of Abstract.vip, but we always jokingly say that that's soft concrete. I don't know if that makes sense or not. You say I've felt it or walked on it, the material just has a different feel to it. So.
It's very smooth.
Exactly. I'm going to give a little bit of background on how all this started here in a second, but talk about a little bit like maybe some of your clothing influences that you had, because that was a big thing when the company started. Ideas that I was having for just the designs you like, to the clothing companies that you like, and try to kind of create our own concepts with that and things that I had in my head as a designer, and then with your collaboration, but like clothing lines and stuff that you like.
So with clothing lines, with most people, and I agree with, the same way, wear whatever you want. It's not about how much it costs. A lot of people are like, oh, you have more of the expensive designer taste, which is true to an extent. It's not necessarily that. If, like that big jacket I got in LA, it was $500 jacket, But if that jacket was $30, I would have bought it. I liked the way it looked. So clothing brands that I've always kind of been into, I'm starting to get into, and I won't, briefly describe all of them. I'll just kind of go through them. So V-Lone, Off-White, Antisocial, Social Club. I'm starting to get a lot more into Zumiez. Just clothing brands that they promote there. Purple Brand, Bape, as I said before with the jacket. And it's just clothing brands like that. It's not necessarily it's designer. It's the way that it's made quality wise. So people have preferences with shirts. Some people like a lot of design on the front, maybe not much on the back. I'm someone like this shirt, for example, that likes little design on the front, but the back like pops. And with more designer brands, with what we're trying to do with Abstract, we like to put more of the designs on the sleeves or on the back and kind of keep the front more empty, or maybe mostly just here or maybe just around the chest, but have a theme in the back. So someone sees that shirt from up front and they're like, oh well, I like the color of that, I like the way that the front of it looks, and they see the back and that's like almost like, oh, I have to have that.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's the same way with the clothing brands that I like. I'll use Antisocial as a very good example. The front of their shirt, it's almost just it just has Antisocial Social Club on the pocket, and then on the back, it has the logo on the entire back with flowers or with butterflies or with like a lightning coming across. Like they really put effort into the back of their clothing, which is something that me and I would say a lot of people prefer.
Absolutely. I'll give a little bit of background about myself and kind of how the company started. And to kind of follow up on some of Aiden's thoughts on the designs and so forth. I've been an investment advisor for, a long time now, right? I hope, I'll pause real quick too. You're going to learn a lot of our weekly podcast of, our humor. And that'll be a good segue into what I do for a living, which is actually really serious. So you can tell by some of the things behind us. We'll talk about that real quick, like our backdrop. This is going to change every podcast. So our initial one, we're going to premiere this. This will be this Wednesday tonight that this will come out. But our weekly podcast will be every Sunday. So what time to be determined on what time of the day on Sundays we'll release it. But it's going to be kind of like some cool Easter eggs for everyone to get to look and see. You never know whose picture is going to be here. You never know what special guests we're going to have. We've got a huge lineup of stuff that we can kind of tease a little bit today, but that's going to happen in the future. And you never know when your picture might be popped up next to here. A lot of times I probably won't talk about the pictures or some of the stuff in the background that will always change out, hence the name Abstract. But we've got a great picture of Johnny Cash being arrested. Great picture of Aiden, which is not humorous. It's just since he was going to be sitting in the seat there today. The classic Billy Ripken 1989 Fleer baseball card. That if you know, you know. One of my favorite actors of all time. This is a big shout out to Mr. Valentino. So he's here wearing the suit. Obviously our Buc-ee's. It was close to the 4th of July, so we wanted to still, go America with the lemonade drinking contest at Nathan's or Hello Kitty. We already had the Trump picture, down below us or whatever prior to Saturday. Obviously our thoughts and prayers are with our country and everything else, regardless of your political affiliation. What happened that day was horrible, and we, as a tribute to Mr. Trump and his picture that is kind of funny that we thought about, we're going to leave it there. And how appropriate that he's next to the Kingdom Park hat that I actually designed. So shout out to Kingdom Park. And if you've read The Big Dipper and you've survived, then you're in a good point in your life. Having said that, a little quick background myself. I've been an investment advisor and owner of JA Investment Management since 2005. We're here in the Teays Valley area, and saying that after joking about a few things, what I do between 9:30 and 4 when the market's open is extremely serious, right? I manage millions of dollars of people's money that they've entrusted me with over all these years, and I'm a pretty lighthearted guy when the market closes, and I think Abstract is really kind of our lifestyle of how we are outside of the office, outside of work, outside of school, of just kind of the way our house is, just fun, rambunctious all the time, joking around, things of that nature. I also am a martial artist. I own I own Helson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu of West Virginia, and Aiden trained there for years. That's still a school here in the area, and one of my passions and hobbies, to teach self-defense. So, Abstract, kind of to fast forward to that, and I'll bore everyone to death with my biography. This just came to be around this time last year, and if we need one of our technicians in here to fix up your microphone there a little bit too,
I was trying to move it up.
make an adjustment there or whatever. We can have Kai. He's back in the studio. He's on the soundboard right now, but Mr. Kai's back there, so we'll see. All right, I think we're fixed up there now. I'm sure we'll have tons of technical difficulties in the future. But this time last year, kind of towards the beginning of the summer, as Aiden was having summer break, we were brainstorming about things he could do for a summer job, and me being kind of more the entrepreneur, business type mind that I was. I've been an abstract painter for over the last 20 years, so always been a painter and always had that kind of mindset of creating things. And I came up with the idea, just on a whim of creating a business to kind of show you what it was like to form a business, even though we already own a couple, or that I do, but you had not really been a part of that building process. So, here's how you form a business. We are Abstract Lifestyle LLC is our official name, the Secretary of State's office in West Virginia. So we formed an LLC. Aiden, you were able to see that, and then going into kind of the graphic design, things of that nature, of things that he might like to do in his future that you might like to say, well, I like the design aspect, you like the clothing stuff. Like we have a special guest that's coming into our shop now. We thought we had the studio sealed up. We do have Mr. Finn, our special guest here. This is our 3-year-old Balinese cat. We do have 2 cats, Kylo and Finn. If you guys are Star Wars fans, give us a like and a heart down there below. And then, just the aspect of starting to look at t-shirt designs, things of that nature, and the way that my mind worked, kind of witty, creative with things, especially with paintings. I wanted to see if that would transfer into clothing and other stuff. And I didn't form this company and ask you to be a collaborator in regards to just clothing. We don't really know what it's going to be. You're in the music industry. You're going to do that, for your future. This could be something that you end up taking over in the future, in some other regards, and doing something different with it. Right now, we do have, a lot of content, especially on Instagram, that are just kind of feel-good things, to see throughout the day, positive things, funny things that are out there. And then the clothes just kind of took off as far as, with your collaboration of saying, these kind of hoodies that you like, or other types of things that you're wearing and people at your age range. And then I kind of took a little further, especially with a lot of our post-high school collection of just funny t-shirts that were more college-age type stuff and humorous. And really at the end of the day with Abstract, it's just for me personally, and I don't know about you, my goal for the company itself, or just online especially, is I'd love to see people that bought one of our shirts and that you guys enjoy it. Like, it's something that you go on Instagram and you post that you're with a group of friends and maybe you bought one of our funny t-shirts and everyone's like, man, that's an awesome t-shirt. Like, that really made me laugh. Made your day a little bit better. Made somebody else's day better. And it wasn't just, hey, I'm just putting on a regular t-shirt and heading out the door. And that's what it really is to me, just trying to share things that we create and things that are fun or enjoyable and pass that along to someone else. And then maybe they take a picture of that, they're in a video, or just their own personal experience that day is positive because it's something we created. So that's really kind of my vision for whatever this is in the future. Obviously, Abstract is spelled wrong. That was intentional with some of the branding that I looked at too, and part of that we talked about as far as just all those aspects of building a business and doing something different. So I kind of played around with words and put the K in there as well. So if you try to type in the correct spelling of abstract.vip, which is our website, you're going to go somewhere else. So obviously we added the K in there as well with the design. So again, we don't want to bore people with all the other kind of ins and outs of stuff. Our future podcasts are going to be whatever we're thinking of that particular day. So we're just excited. I always like to say that our lives are perfectly imperfect. So we're going to get on here and just be ourselves. We're not going to edit things. We're not going to try to be somebody that we're not. We just want to come on and do something different. I've never done a podcast before. I'm going to assume that, unless I don't know that, this is probably your first podcast too.
Definitely.
So we're going to have a lot of fun with it though, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be fun. So I'm not going to end with telling everyone, hit that share button, all the other generic tags that you get from, everyone else, God bless, everybody else is doing different podcasts. My thing that I just ask for people to do is just interact with us, interact with us, that us personally, tell us things you'd like to see that Abstract to do. If you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, everywhere else, just tell us things you enjoy. Just give us feedback, share experience with us. If you've got T-shirts before things, take a snapshot, put it online, be proud of it. Say, hey, I really like this design. This was cool. We've given out a lot of freebies, right? We've given out a lot of stuff that we just try to share things with people to get it out there and let people enjoy it. So anything you guys can do to help us do that, we would really, really appreciate it. And I'll just, anything else you have for in the first podcast here?
Well, first things first, it's a very incredible opportunity to, be blessed enough, create a podcast, create a clothing brand. I agree with, just interactions. If you're watching this, take a look at the clothes, see what you like, see what you don't like. And instead of, we're not saying, buy stuff or go share this to a friend so we can get, more views. It's more as in like, interact with us, whether you know us personally or not. And it can just be, oh, hey, I have more questions about this shirt before I order it, or hey, I like this hoodie, but there's a few things that I would want different on it, and like we can make that change in 5 seconds.
Absolutely. And we'll do future podcasts. It talks the ins and outs of everything that, we have distribution centers throughout the entire world. We're an international company, so we can create something you can order. We've got friends in Taiwan, right, from the basketball program. So, shout out to them. You may order a T-shirt. Chris Lynn, he may order a T-shirt now at University of Charleston and say, hey, coach, I want to get a T-shirt from one of my friends in Taiwan. They can order it, and we have facilities in that region of the world, in the Middle East, in the Asian area of the world, Asian territory of the world, we can get those shirts to people quick. So I'll leave with this until next time, man. Be the change you wish to see in the world, and as always, our tagline is live abstract, and that's just the meaning of be yourself. Have a happy life in this crazy world, and I love and I know Aiden shares this with me. Love to hear stories of people that just things you enjoy in your life, things you like to do, and we want to be a more positive influence of that. So until next time, live abstract, and I think we're gonna have some more of Aiden Arthur's music.